Hello, welcome to One Take Wednesday. If you're new to this is a series of videos I do where every single week I discuss a hockey-related topic and I do it in a single take. That means no jump cuts, no edits, no nothing, just straight up raw footage for your viewing pleasure. Now, this week I want to discuss beer league ringers because I kind of had an experience over the weekend. It really wasn't that bad, but it reminded me of beer league ringers. Now, this isn't an exclusive to hockey. I'm sure there's ringers in beer league softball or beer league volleyball or beer league bowling or beer league ping pong. I don't know. I don't really play those sports, but beer league hockey definitely has ringers. And I'm not really against ringers in general. I think to an extent they're fine. Like, it's not that big of a deal, especially if, I play in draft tournaments or draft leagues where every team has a ringer. So every team has like guys like me who started playing as an adult, and then guys who have played, major juniors or college level hockey. So there's a wide range of skill gaps. So you got the ringers and then, the awful players. But every team is equal. So every team has a ringer and it's fine. It's all good. Everybody, each team's players kind of match up with their skill levels and just kind of play hockey, and that's all fine. Then you have the more traditional adult hockey league kind of setup or how it's kind of laid out, where you have teams that have a player or two that decides not to play in the division that they should be playing in based on their skill, but instead, for whatever reason, drops down and plays in a lower division, whether it be they just don't really want to deal with the challenge of the higher division, or they want to play with friends down in a lower division. There's a multitude of reasons, and even at that extent, it's really not that big of a deal. I still get it. I'm still fine with it. But if you're going to do that as a ringer, there are certain unwritten rules. So if you find yourself as a player, very obviously higher skill level than the rest of the players on the ice, you shouldn't be taking it 200 feet coast to coast, more than once or twice in a game, unless you're down by a couple goals or a lot of goals. You shouldn't be doing that. Your main job as a ringer really should be to be getting the puck to your teammates, creating opportunities for your teammates. That's really your main job. If you're the type of guy who can just score at will in a game against lower opponents, well, then that's no fun for anyone. The thing is, there are guys who are competitive, maybe even tryhards, who don't really abide by these unwritten rules. And unfortunately, leagues don't really do a whole lot to help out in that extent. Now, some leagues do. Some leagues are more aware of it than others and may, prevent ringers from playing again or whatever. But there's a lot of leagues out there that just they don't worry about it. They think they pretty much got their money. They don't really care anymore. And at that point, as a player, you kind of need to step up a little bit yourself. I'm not talking about fighting. You shouldn't ever really fight in beer league. But you still need to be able to send a message, whether it's just straight up telling the other team or the ringer, chirping them, whatever. You got to do it that way. Or something that is effective, it sucks to do, but it's effective, is if you're playing a team that obviously stacks the roster pretty much every game or has a bunch of ringers and it's just never any fun to play them because of that, you're always losing by like 10 goals or whatever. At that point, you just show up and you go onto the ice, and then you just basically stand there and let them go and don't even really play. So it's a visual sign of saying that, like, this isn't okay. Like, have your goalie kind of just move out of the way. So if they want to score, yeah, they'll probably win the game because they'll just go in and score. But in the long run, or eventually they'll figure it out. It's like this isn't really fun unless they're complete D-bags. But usually it's the case where they start kind of getting mad and they start to understand why you're not playing against them. So that's one thing you can do. But first option should always be kind of taken up with the league and such. But I just want to kind of make this video about beer league ringers because it's an unfortunate thing out there. It's not really that bad if the unwritten rules are being, abided by, but in the cases that they aren't, then speak up or act up. Just saying. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear your stories with ringers in any leagues that you play in, or if you've seen stories or whatever. Let me know. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate that as always, but most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time.